There you go. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh. Yeah, good morning, Mark Scott reporting. How you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing? 1 second, man. Let me dismantle my music gear here. Oh man. Woo-wee, victory, sweet victory. Good day to be a commie little socialist if you're a Bernie Sanders fan. Ah, what a night, what a night. Good morning, Vinny. Vinny's wide awake. Vinny doesn't sleep, man. What's up, McDowell? Bartley McDowell, thank you for your support, for being here, and all you do. Good morning, Nathan Purvis. Good morning. It's a good day to be a Bernie Sanders guy, right? Sweet victory in the air. So take a look. Let's slow. I mean, if you were with us last night, we went 4.5 hours. Oh my God, 4.5 hours of campaigning and following the very very cool election. And yeah, man. So let's just let some people come into the room. Let some people enter into the room. So talk about Bernie Sanders' victory. We'll do a victory lap for Bernie Sanders. We'll look at some of the numbers, some of what the punditry is saying. Where do we go from here in terms of this election? What's up next and all that stuff. And I'll try to piece it together. Good morning. Nathan Rico. Willie Digg. Good morning, Sneezer. Good morning, Sneezer. So yeah, it was a good day last night. It was a good day. It looks like there wasn't much cheating going on. Who knows? I mean, we don't really. I mean, the big cheat is that they've stacked the deck, stacked the election with too many people, and that diffuses the float. But man, it was sweet victory. A win is a win, right? A win means win, right? Despite all of the obstacles, despite every disadvantage, despite every attempt to hold you down, the 79-year-old man, Bernie Sanders, prevails. Right? It's really, really, in my view, amazing, right? And we'll look at some of the people that turn their back on him. So again, don't be a dick in the chat. Don't be a dick. Be nice. Speak your mind, but don't be a dick. Let's start with a cat video. This is a pretty cool cat video. Check this Yeah, baby. You gotta love black cats, man. I got a black cat. Nick Purvis. Even H.A. Goodman was pleased to see Bernie win. No, he wasn't. I got the. I'm going to play his clip. I saw what he said this morning. He's fucking. I only watched the first 2 minutes of it because it was a little upsetting, but I did watch it. So here's the results. If you were sleeping and you slept through it, this is CNN reporting with 97% of the vote in. 97% of the vote in. Pledged delegates are going to get, even in terms of the delegate allegation to the DNC convention. 9 for Sanders, 9 for Buttigieg. But the vote, 73,470 for Bernie Sanders, 69,216 for Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg trailed by 4,254 votes. That is a win. No matter how you slice it, that is a win. The big surprise was Amy Klobuchar in third, 55,982 votes, 19% of the vote. Wow, 19% of the vote she's pulling. Amazing. If you add Buttigieg and Klobuchar and Biden, it's more than 50% of the vote. Here's the deal. Elizabeth Warren, fourth place with 9.3% of the vote. Elizabeth Warren should drop out and support Bernie Sanders. At this point, drop out. Because if you add that 9.3 to Bernie Sanders, he's fucking destroying the field. And it's always been believed that Elizabeth Warren is nothing but a thorn although she's a thorn in Bernie Sanders' side, but although she has carved out her own crowd, it's still Bernie Sanders' crowd. It's the progressive movement. They'll fit nicely in Bernie Sanders' camp. Yang dropped out as well. We'll talk about that. So Yang has 2.8% of the vote. Where are those votes going to go? We want them to go to Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders, if Bernie Sanders could pick up, if Andrew Yang does an endorsement, that would be wonderful. I heard he's running for, or he's thinking about, it was spoken out loud that Andrew Yang may run for mayor of New York. Wow, that would be a great position for him. I like that. I like that idea. Andrew Yang, mayor of New York. That would be if he's not cabinet for Bernie Sanders, that would be a great pivot into the big time. So it's official. There is the results from CNN. 97% of the vote in. Decisive win, Bernie Sanders. The most unlikely. The polls had him. Here's the polls, right? Now he's the winner. Oh, look. In February 11, as of yesterday, Bernie Sanders' national poll, Monmouth National Poll, has Bernie Sanders 26% over Biden 16. Bloomberg 11. This is the national poll. Warren 13, Buttigieg 13. Well, that's interesting that they're broadcasting a poll that puts Buttigieg below Biden. I said it right away, right? I said it the whole freaking time, right? Every day they were saying, now who said it first? Didn't Conte tell you that the polls are skewed, they're rigged, they're not accurate, they're in favor of the corporate Democrat? All along, for months now, they've been telling you Joe Biden is the winner. Joe Biden is the lead. Joe Biden is the most electable. Joe Biden is winning by 10 points. Joe Biden. Joe Biden came in 5th place last night. In Iowa, he came in 4th place. He's out. So what did the polls tell you? What did the polls tell you? I'm just looking at it because that's where everybody else looks. But I told you all along that Bernie Sanders was going to be the winner, was going to be the clear winner in Iowa and New Hampshire. And so far, I am right and all the jackoffs are wrong. Every one of them. All the mainstream media and most of the... I hate to pat myself on the back, but what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You gotta point it out. You gotta point it out. This Satan kid did say something, Vinny. I'm going to play that one too. I got his clip. So let's listen to a little Bernie Sanders. Again, this is for people, if you weren't paying attention last night and you're just waking up and you're just trying to figure out who the hell won the thing. Bernie Sanders won in a decisive victory. Let's listen to Bernie Sanders in his own words for a little bit.
This opportunity to thank the people of New Hampshire for a great victory tonight.
Declaring victory.
Let me thank the thousands of volunteers in New Hampshire. Thank you. Who knocked on doors in the rain and the snow and the cold. The reason that we won tonight in New Hampshire, we won last week in Iowa, is because of the hard work of so many volunteers. And let me say tonight that this victory here is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump.
Got to agree with that. Bernie beats Trump.
With victories behind us, popular vote in Iowa and the victory here tonight, we're going to Nevada, we're going to South Carolina, we're going to win those states as well. And tonight I want to take the opportunity to express my appreciation and respect for all of the Democratic candidates we ran against. Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden. And what I can tell you with absolute certainty, and I know I speak for every one of the Democratic candidates, is that no matter who wins, and we certainly hope it's going to be us, we are going to unite together.
That's a pipe dream, Bernie. That's a pipe dream. Nobody's gonna the blue, no matter who. All due respect, Bernie. No one's uniting behind the shit sandwich like Pete Buttigieg. If Pete Buttigieg gets the nomination, Donald Trump. If Joe Biden gets the nomination, Donald Trump. If the other guy, Amy Klobuchar, we got Donald Trump 4 more years. That is the reality. That is the reality from the beginning. Whether you like it or not, Bernie, it's policy. You stepped up to the plate. You want to lead on policy. You're the leader of this movement. All right? We don't cop out. We don't sell out. We don't bow out.
We are going to unite together and defeat the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country. And the reason I believe we are going to win is that we have an unprecedented grassroots movement from coast to coast of millions of people. The reason that we are going to win is that we are putting together an unprecedented, multi-generational, multiracial political movement.
Now he's going into his routine now, but that was the victory. Let's just snap to the end. Listen to the cheers.
And together, I have no doubt that we will defeat Donald Trump. Thank you all very much.
That was Bernie Sanders winning. So what's going forward? What's the calendar look like going forward? Next stop, February 22nd, Nevada. We got the Fango out in Nevada. DeFango lives in Nevada. I hope he covers it. February 27th, Nevada caucus. So we'll get to see the votes out in the open. They'll be shy of the caucuses. Caucuses, when run fairly, are very, very advantageous to the good senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, because we could see the actual vote. All right. And then following that, the 22nd, Nevada. And then we move right into the 29th in South Carolina. Now, Nate Silver, I'm going to play a little clip from Nate Silver, who has stated that the last poll, because he's a guy who follows the polls, last poll of South Carolina was over a month ago. And Joe Biden all along has been saying he's got this, he's got it in the bag. I fundamentally disagree with that. Why? Because there's 60% Democratic blacks in South Carolina, and you think you got that in the bag because you were Obama's vice president? Bull fucking shit. Bernie Sanders has Nina Turner as a cheerleader, has Cornel West, the good intellectual from Princeton. Right? I don't think that Joe Biden's going to win. I think that's bullshit. So I think Bernie Sanders is probably the favorite in the next two contests going forward. How about that? How about that if he wins all four, right? And let's look at March 3rd. That's the big day, right? That's the whole shit right there. That is the whole shit. March 3rd. Alabama, American Samoa. That's like 2 votes. Arkansas, California. Listen to the big states. California is, the thing about these smaller states, Iowa has only 40 pledged delegates. New Hampshire, I think it's about the same or less, maybe 33. Nevada's maybe 20. South Carolina, the same, right? Small states. California has 450 delegates. 450 delegates that go to the convention. That's a lot of people, man. That's just a lot of people. So big states, California. Colorado, not so big of a state. Democrats abroad. Maine, that's right. That's in Bernie Sanders' backyard. Massachusetts. That Elizabeth Warren can suck a little if she's still in. Minnesota, big state. North Carolina, huge state. Oklahoma, deep south state. Tennessee. I hope you're paying attention, man. Bernie Sanders, come on. Texas, Utah, Vermont, and Virginia. Virginia, another big state. Texas, big state. So 40% of the vote will be in. This is 33% right here. So that's March 3rd. That's only 3 weeks away, kids. 3 weeks away. And we'll see the final analysis. The final America speaking finally. Also in November, I believe, before Nevada, before the 22nd, I'm not sure, but I think there's another debate. They squeak in another debate before Nevada, and then they squeak in another one before South Carolina. And then it's on to March 3rd. I don't believe there's a debate between South Carolina and Super Tuesday. And I'm telling you, the big fish is California. Bernie Sanders is going to head right to California, and he's going to pull 30,000, 40,000, maybe 50,000 crowd. They're going to have rock concerts, and Bernie Sanders is going to be there. Bernie Sanders is going to, so California is going to light up for Bernie. They did the last time in 2016, but their votes didn't count because they got screwed. So what's this? Oh, so here's a numbers guy. Let's listen to Nate Silver. Now, Nate Silver was historically wrong in 2016. Nate Silver predicted that Hillary Clinton would win. Hillary Clinton, they had Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump the night before. Actually, the night of the primary. Nate Silver had Hillary Clinton 100% winning. So he's historically wrong, but he does seem to have changed his tune with Bernie Sanders. Let's listen.
The polls in this race from the very beginning. Editor-in-Chief Nate Silver joins us now live. Nate, thanks for joining us.
Would you go in?
Definitely. Thank you.
So, Nate, your 538 primary forecast has Bernie Sanders in the lead for the nomination coming out of Iowa. How critical is a clear and decisive win for him tonight? And what are the latest national polls showing about the state of the race?
So I'm not sure how important a decisive win is versus just a win. Given
That's very honest for Nate Silver. That's very honest. A win is a win is a win. Thank you, Nate.
that, so Bernie, if he gets, say, 28 or 29% of the vote tonight, that's less than he had in 2016. At the same time, the rest of the field is so disorganized that might be enough to win a lot of states, to accumulate momentum, and to win a lot of delegates. So sure, Bernie would rather be winning by 20 points. But, the story so far is that things are setting up exactly how his campaign might want them to, where he has a base, they're very loyal, he has a movement, he raises a lot of money, and maybe if you only have to hit 25 or 30%, then you can all of a sudden win the nomination or at least get the most delegates that way, potentially.
So who else has the most to gain and who has the most to lose tonight coming out of New Hampshire?
I mean, there are several candidates who you would think would be good New Hampshire candidates. So Elizabeth Warren is one. It looks like she may not have a great night tonight. Pete Buttigieg, he tends to be best in really white states as Iowa and New Hampshire.
This is interesting because this is before the actual election. This is what Nate Silver was predicting. That's what it is. You're hearing something prior to the election.
Are. He has to gain a lot in national polls. He's only at 10% in national polls right now. And Amy Klobuchar, if she wants to get on the map, she got 5th place in Iowa. Usually 5th place is not a good showing, but if she were to move up to 2nd or 3rd tonight, or who knows, even first, then she might finally be yet another answer to who the moderate lane winner might be potentially.
Joe Biden, he's counting on South Carolina to really be what revives his campaign. But can his campaign survive that long if he finishes maybe 4th or 5th tonight? Couldn't that support, even among African-American voters in South Carolina, evaporate rather quickly?
So we have seen almost no polls of South Carolina in almost a month. So we're basically taking all...
Did you hear what he just said? We haven't seen polls in South Carolina in almost a month. But Joe Biden has been claiming South Carolina as his stronghold with 60% of the blacks. Right? Nate Silver said it. He said it right there. Listen.
In almost a month. So we're basically taking seen almost no polls of South Carolina in almost a month. So we're basically taking all types of wild guesses. I mean, look.
It's a wild guess. A wild guess. The Democratic Party is banking on a wild guess. Thank you, Nate Silver.
He can survive for as long as he wants, basically. He doesn't have a ton of money, but we're talking about 2 weeks. It's more the psychological strain of having a lot of bad press written about you, having people lose faith in your campaign. He might not get a good result in Nevada in a week and a half either. But he is right that we have not had African American voters have much, if any, say in the primaries so far. It's been a little bit of a wacky, very regionally based primary. So you may have Buttigieg do well here and Sanders do well somewhere else and Biden do well in South Carolina still, but it's not going how he would script it.
All right, Nate Silver for us, 5:38.
Yeah, 5:38. So Andrew Yang dropped out. Let's listen to a little bit of Andrew Yang dropping out. So what's going on in the chat? Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Trump beat Clinton, Bush, and Obama in New Hampshire. Re-election numbers. It's going to be a landslide. What happens in Virginia will determine who becomes president. Magazoog. I doubt that. Virginia is a swing state. Doesn't even matter, really. Wow. It is as white outside as New York City. I'm going to make a snowman. It's not snowing in New York City. Let's see. What are the comments? Comments. Vinny does have a radio voice. Vinny DiMartini, how you doing? Vinny was on the show last night. Thank you, Vinny, man. It was good stuff, man. Will Bernie win in Nevada? Yeah, they are. I saw that. There's a little bit of rigging going on. Bernie Sanders had a problem in Nevada the last time. His people were overthrown by Hillary Clinton people. The Hillary Clinton people paid union guys to come in and vote in the caucus and try to overturn the election. They cheat in Nevada, so we got to pay attention, right? It could be a master cheat. You just got to pay attention. Let's listen to Andrew Yang. We want his 2 or 3% for Bernie's team. That's the idea. You drop out now. Come out and say it, Bernie Sanders. Elizabeth Warren should do the same. Come out. If Elizabeth Warren drops out and doesn't endorse Bernie Sanders, fuck her. Right? She's doing it again. She's holding back her support for the highest bid. That's who Elizabeth Warren is.
We do a Fox News alert. Andrew Yang dropping out. We're going to go to him live.
Evelyn and this campaign at every turn. Your passion and energy, your donations, and hundreds of thousands of hours calling, volunteering, your enthusiasm, dedication, and commitment. We've accomplished so much together. We have brought a message of humanity first and a vision of an economy and society that works for us and our families to millions of our fellow Americans. We went from a mailing list that started with just my Gmail contact list to receiving donations from over 400,000 people around the country and millions more who've supported this campaign. One of the things I'm most proud of.
If he runs for mayor of New York, man, that'd be so good. I think that's his spot. That's his calling right there. The mayor of New York City. And that would be a nice pivot into, if you want to be president, that's a training ground. Mayor of New York City, Giuliani. You think of Giuliani, you think of Mike Bloomberg, right? Powerful staging position.
We gave $1,000 a month to 13 families around the country.
Can Andrew Yang win in New York City? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Including Jody Fassey right here in New Hampshire. We highlighted the real problems in our communities as our economy is being transformed before our eyes by technology and automation. And Americans know now that when you go to a factory in Michigan, you do not find wall-to-wall immigrants doing work. You find We stood on the debate stage and shifted our national conversation to include our signature proposal.
Anyway, somewhere in there he says he's dropping out. So I don't want to sit there and watch him. All right, so let's talk about the snakes. The snakes in the grass, right? This fucking guy's a snake. Snake Hexenhammer 666. Satan! Satan! Oh, Satan! Hexenhammer 666. He's a fucking snake, this kid. Watch what he says about Bernie Sanders. Right? So this is expected, right? This guy is in the pocket with Trump. He likes how Trump's dick feels in his ass. He knows nothing about the economy whatsoever. All he knows is that for some strange reason, he lives in his mother's basement. Literally, he lives in his mother's house, is in the basement with his cat and his guns and his wife in fucking Holland, right? That he met online. Kid's a nobody, right? He's a young kid from Vermont who writes a lot of psychic books. He writes like occult books and all kinds of shit, right? He's got his own little audience and he's making some money on that shit, right? But he thinks he's unable to see the economic problem in the country that, half the country is living in abject poverty. This is a classic example of if it's good for me, it's okay. If it's okay with me, if everything's going good with me, everything's okay, right? It's a classic prick. Listen.
Happening is that Bernie Sanders stays in and does well, but doesn't do quite well enough. Buttigieg has more delegates than him at the end because presumably he gets the endorsement of most of the sane candidates when they drop out. And then you have a contested convention. It gets messy. Bernie Sanders fans go crazy. They go apeshit. They literally do what they've been threatening to do, which is basically burn Milwaukee.
Now that's a slander. That's a smear. He's saying that Bernie Sanders people are going to go to Milwaukee and burn the place to the ground. The most peaceful candidates, very vocal. If you look at 2016 Philadelphia DNC convention, there was no violence. In Nevada, they were accused of throwing chairs. There were no chairs thrown. There was no violence whatsoever. So Styx Hexenhammer, the Satanist, is promoting a false narrative of Bernie Sanders' crowd is violent. It's a lie.
And they look asses, and they help Trump to win. because they decide to burn cars and go crazy like communists and socialists and anarchists tend to do, making the Democrats look bad even if it's a rejection of the Dem nominee.
Communists, socialists, and anarchists. That's who he's trying to paint Bernie Sanders. And this kid's from Vermont too. Right? It's not to hop on one guy, the Satan kid, but it is important to look at the vernacular, the dialogue online. This kid's popular, right? He's got a half a million idiots like himself listening. So you keep track of it, right? It's not just mainstream media, is my point. Bernie Sanders is getting hit from mainstream media to corporate elite, right? And jackoffs like this right here.
Who at that point would, I think, be Buttigieg, probably with Klobuchar as his running mate. That he would be rejected by this small but extremely fanatic block of voters. And they are fanatics. You are a fanatic if you believe in what Bernie Sanders is peddling. You're also an idiot. You have to be a fool to believe that he's actually capable of delivering the omnibus sort of welfare spending he's proposing and various other things, the free shit stuff
that's the free stuff. Everything's free.
Without raising middle-class taxes in a draconian manner. He'd have to more than double them.
That's incorrect. That's statistically incorrect. That to give social programs like universal single-payer health care would cost half. Why, Mr. Hexenhammer? Look it up. The insurance companies are raping the country. Do you know how much money the insurance companies suck out of the healthcare industry and the pharmaceutical industry by not being able to compete for prices? They're the ones driving the price up. When you eliminate them, you can cover more people for a lot less. I mean, it's just basic economics. What his fear is that he buys into the conservative idea that it's going to take a hit, it's going to hit the stock market, and he's right about that. But so what? Who cares? The stock market is not helping regular people. It's helping the corporate elite. So why does the average person give a fuck if the stock market gets rocked because the pharmaceutical industry and the insurance companies get hit? They're a large part of the NASDAQ and the Dow. I don't know so much about the Dow, but definitely the S&P and NASDAQ are loaded with pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies. Aetna and MetLife and all those companies are gone. They're gone. All right, so all that money that was getting sucked away from people stays in their pocket and goes to what it's supposed to go to, which is healthcare. Why is that so hard to understand? Why is an idiot like this not able to understand it? Or is he able to understand it and he's just talking shit because he has a vested interest, because he feels he likes the way Trump's dick feels in his asshole.
And various other things, the free shit stuff, without raising middle-class taxes in a draconian manner. He'd have to more than double them. A lot of us would simply leave the country because the tax rate would then be so high that, Western Europe's looking a lot more fiscally competitive at that point, maybe the UK.
Bernie Sanders has said over and over that the money would come from holding the corporations liable. Companies like Amazon, who got away with not paying $35 billion in tax. That's where the money comes from. We know where the money's coming from. And that's just Amazon. That's just one publicly traded company. What about the other 9,999 companies? Right? The 6 large banks, right? They don't pay tax. They don't contribute. The idea is to hold them to the money they're supposed to pay, not the little guy. It's so short-sighted.
Maybe the Netherlands, maybe the Philippines or Thailand, if coronavirus blows over, there are people that would flee the country because they wouldn't be able to afford it anymore. I mean, the whole point of American exceptionalism in part is, yes, you can get ahead here. If that's no longer possible, if they're going to be stagnant and boring like Bernie Sanders' crusty underwear.
If you give people a New Deal, an FDR New Deal, the economy booms from the bottom up. That's the point. Economies don't boom from the top down. That's not how it works. Trickle-down economics doesn't work. A boom is created when you give regular people more opportunity and then the markets boom from the bottom up because those people, you're stimulating millions and millions of people to get involved in small business. They're spending money. They're taking advantage of things that they were never able to take advantage of. So,
because he's almost 80 and probably shits himself at this point. Well, that's not really revolutionary. That's taking a step backwards and going back into the 1800s. Bernie Sanders speaks to a consensus of reality.
At this time, this kid already has 15,000 views of this garbage. Spewing this garbage. Right.
That was most popular more than a century ago and has since lost popularity. There are a small number of people who have re-embraced it. They are morons. You are a moron if you believe that Bernie Sanders' particular fiscal plan can be achieved and not screw the population and the economy.
And what are you if you listen to the economic policies in the State of the Union with Donald Trump? What are you to believe? He's lying. Trump is on stage lying to the American people, saying that the bottom half of the country got a 43% bump in income. What the fuck? I played the clip, right, where he says it, and it's like, what's wrong with you? Why would you? That's okay. Trump, the president of the United States, could come out and straight out lie about the numbers, and Bernie Sanders is telling you that there's a better way. All right? Trump is a liar. Trump is a financial idiot, and Bernie Sanders is trying to create programs for people, regular people.
Also, you've got to be a little bit foolish to believe that he would actually be able to get it around the Democratic Party. As you can see, he would not have the will even of the party he's a member of.
The party will fall in place, you idiot. The party falls in place. The Democrats fall in line. Progressives take over. And just like with Trump, they're never going to vote for Trump. Trump is bulletproof with the Republicans. The Democrats will fall in line, you fucking fool.
The fact that he'd be president wouldn't help him. It'd be a terrible idea to run him. He'd get trounced by Trump, I think. I
only bother with him, Zucklick, whatever your name is, ZOX. I bother with him because, again, 500,000 supporters and a lot of Trump people. He has the mind of the Trumpian, this kid, right? So he's a good case study to watch.
Think, again, the 20 or 30% of the population that really likes Bernie Sanders is unaware of the fact that the average independent voter rejects socialism.
Socialism the word has no meaning anymore. Again, the socialist smear. These are the obstacles going forward. This is coming from the grassroots. This is coming from a kid in his basement. Right now he's in the Netherlands. A Vermont kid, right? Grassroots.
And they keep dragging out a bunch of cherry-picked loser polls to try to prove otherwise. Well, this proposal is really...
Now they're cherry-picked in loser polls when all he does is lean on it and say, oh, the aggregate numbers. And so full of shit.
Really popular. That proposal is really popular. Universal pre-K is popular. Add them all together, tell people what the bill is, and then take another poll. Get back to me and tell me what the number is. You will see approval for it drop like a rock down to the lowest common denominator of people who fundamentally vote in their own self-interest.
Okay, we've had enough of him. So H.A. Goodman was also on this morning, and H.A. Goodman is doing the backslide. H.A. Goodman did say that Bernie Sanders would win in 2016, like we all did. That wasn't a surprise at all. H.A. Goodman likes to say that he's the only one. I'm the only one who predicted that Hillary Clinton would lose to Trump. Now, we all knew that Hillary Clinton would lose to Trump and that Bernie Sanders would have beat Trump if the nominee. But guess what, H.A.? Guess what? Bernie Sanders is en route to winning. Where are you? Where are you now, H.A.? Where are you now, H.A.?
Ladies and gentlemen, have I not told you since 2017 that Biden was not only unelectable, that he was simply a placeholder for Madam Secretary? Okay. Joe Biden's campaign is done. Done. He, got no delegates from New Hampshire, had an abysmal showing in Iowa, I told you that he didn't even have a viable campaign. They said that he was the front runner. Now they're saying Bernie Sanders is the front runner. Bernie Sanders was the front runner when I said he was in 2016.
So he's agreeing that Bernie Sanders is the front runner. How come you haven't said it all along, HA? Oh, I agree. This is called backpedaling. This is called like I'm humming.
Was writing that he was electable, that he would have defeated President Trump. That was his year. Thank God he didn't. Thank God President Trump won and defeated Hillary Clinton, like I said he would, in The Hill and in the Huffington Post and in Salon. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm going to read you the delegate count. Pete Buttigieg, 22. Bernie Sanders, 21. Okay, so he won New Hampshire. He got the same amount of delegates. Not a win. It's a Pyrrhic victory. It's not a win. It's a charade. It's part of the charade.
What do you mean, HA? It's not a win.
Not a win. It's a Pyrrhic victory. I'm going to read you the delegate count. Pete Buttigieg, 22. Bernie Sanders, 21. Okay, so he won New Hampshire. He got the same amount of delegates. Not a win. It's a Pyrrhic victory.
It's the number of people that voted. We know that New Hampshire and Iowa. See, now he's lying. Now he's just straight up lying. Iowa and New Hampshire are they're models. They're bellwethers for what's to come. That's all they are. Everybody knows that. Nobody's saying you have to win Iowa and New Hampshire to get the delegates, and then you can't win going forward. That's not what Iowa and New Hampshire are about. They're bellwethers. So here's H.A. Goodman doing the backpedal, trying to cover that up.
It's not a win. It's a charade. It's part of the charade. First of all, the pledged delegates are pledged in the same manner that a cheating husband is pledged to his wife.
Listen, did you hear what he just said? The pledged delegates are pledged in the same way they're pledged to a cheating wife. Right? Now that's a total lie. Pledged delegates, by definition, are the actual votes. That's what pledged means to the Democrats. Pledged delegates versus unpledged, which are superdelegates. That's in the convention. We're not even talking about that. So H.A. Goodman is trying to confuse the issue, saying that pledged delegates are not pledged to anything. No, they are firm. The pledged delegates are the people who voted. It's the popular vote. That's what pledged delegates are.
Are pledged in the same manner that a cheating husband is pledged to his wife. There is no pledge. The pledged delegates, well, even a cheating husband even still could be good in other ways. I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean, H.A. Tell me what you mean.
Even a cheating husband is better than the pledged delegates in the Democratic Party.
Wow, H.A. Goodman with his back against the wall. Look at him. Wow, this is interesting because I like H.A. Goodman. I've always admired his wit. And now we watch him cornered. He can't come around to say that Sanders is winning, that he was wrong in his assessment, that Bernie Sanders deserves our respect and support, and that millions of people are still behind him. He just can't get around to saying it. That Bernie Sanders would be better for the economy than Trump. Now you've embraced Trump. You, like Six Hexenhammer, the Satanist, like the way Donald Trump's dick feels in your ass. Oh, enjoy it. Enjoy it, H.A.
The Democratic Party's pledged delegates are not legally bound to vote.
Yes, they are. The pledged delegates are the delegates, H.A. Stop fucking gaslighting the audience. Stop gaslighting people, H.A. The pledged delegates are the people who voted. It's the unpledged you're talking about. You're talking about the superdelegates. Don't mix it up.
there's no redeeming qualities. There are no redeeming qualities to pledge delegates within the Democratic Party because they don't have to vote for, let's say Bernie Sanders wins California, he could get less delegates than Amy Klobuchar or Elizabeth Warren or Mayor Pete.
He's telling total jargon right now. So that's Satan. That's H.A. Goodman. Let's look at the New York Post. See, now the New York Post, right? Bernie Sanders should have gotten the headline, but instead, Morning Joe, Biden's spectacular collapse as Democrat frontrunner. Say it ain't Joe is the headline. It should be Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is coming to a city near you, right? That's what it should be. But instead, we're looking at the headline, Say It Ain't Joe. What other news? Bernie Sanders wins New Hampshire primary in razor-thin victory over Pete Buttigieg. Andrew Yang drops out. All right, they gave him a little bit. Bernie Sanders, not the headline. That should have been the headline. The winner of the Democratic primary. The winner of the New Hampshire primary should have been on the cover. That's all I'm trying to say. Politico, blood in the water. Biden campaign reels after New Hampshire tranching. Why give the attention to Joe Biden? Why not give it to the winner? You're talking, they put on the front page is the guy who came in fifth. Bernie crashes the gates. Buttigieg cuts the line. All right. So that's all. They gave him a little bit. So here's another, let's look at how the financial minds are thinking. This is Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO, the very wealthy Jewish CEO of Goldman Sachs. Right? To the Trump people, if you're not familiar with who Goldman Sachs is and Lloyd Blankfein is, look at your Treasury Secretary. Steve Mnuchin is a product of these guys. Steve Mnuchin is one of them. Right? That's the swamp you wanted to drain. Trump people wanted to drain the swamp, and what do you get for the Treasury Secretary? You got Goldman Sachs. Now, is that a bad thing? Oh, Trump. They know how to handle money. Right, listen to what Goldman Sachs is saying. He'll ruin our economy, Lloyd Blankfein warns. Russians will reconsider who to work for if Sanders clinches nomination. Lloyd Blankfein, right? Of all the people in the world, this guy knows more than anybody who's running the show. And it's him and his cronies. Right? This is crony capitalism at its finest. And he's saying Russia. Bernie Sanders, Russia. Just when it looked like Bernie Sanders would become the first avowed Democratic Socialist to win the Iowa caucus, the Iowa DNC delivered a political slide tackle with their botched polling map, effectively robbing Sanders of a considerable amount of momentum. Very, very true. But Sanders and his band of white college-educated liberals, it's just not the case. Bernie Sanders, his band of it's not. He has a diverse crowd of blacks and everybody, liberals, old people all over the place, working class people. So the bottom line, let's just read the tweet. Lloyd Blankfein. If Dems go on to nominate Sanders, the Russians will have to reconsider who to work for to best screw up the U.S. What the fuck are you talking about? Sanders is just as polarizing as Trump, and he'll ruin our economy. Yeah, he's going to ruin your economy, Lloyd Blankfein. He's not going to ruin my economy. He's going to improve my economy, and doesn't care about our military. Bernie Sanders cares about our military. Quote, if I'm Russian, I go with Sanders this time around. What a fucking gaslighter this guy is. So, to Trump people, right? Lloyd Blankfein, that's your guy. You got the same guy, and to be perfectly honest, Obama had the same guy. He had that other guy. He had his I forgot the guy's name, but his Secretary of Treasury, Obama's Secretary of Treasury was also Goldman Sachs, and Trump just took a guy right out of Goldman Sachs and did it again. That is a big fucking deal. That is a big fucking deal because you got Jewish New York running the Treasury, and no one seems to give a shit. None of the Trump people seem to give a shit. So anyway, Mark Conte reporting. That's all I got for you today. And we'll keep following this. Keep following. Sorry, man. So take you out. Let me take you out. Take you out with a little music. So I don't know what else is going on today, but we'll keep following it, man. So Bernie Sanders, enjoy your victory, Mr. Sanders. The good senator from Vermont. Good senator from Vermont. That's my Bob Dylan shit. I ain't gonna play any covers, but it's just I like to fuck around with it. It's a good warm feeling with your fingers, eh? See if I get a little beat going, beep, 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 beep. Let's see, a little beat. You want a little beat? That's a little too heavy. Yeah, I like this. Nah, it's too much. Ah, yeah. We'll keep playing. Ooh, yeah. Peace out.